The room was quiet except for the low hum of the life support system. The human scout leaned against the wall, taking a moment to relax. The day had been long, hours spent repairing the solar arrays and recalibrating the environmental sensors of the remote station on the alien planet. He had expected solitude here, a chance to enjoy peace after the exhausting work. The room was small but comfortable, with a simple bed, a work desk filled with tools, and a single window showing the swirling colors of the alien sky. He moved toward the bed, rubbing his hands. The sunlight that filtered through the thick atmosphere painted the walls with strange patterns of green and blue. It was beautiful, yet unsettling, as though the world itself was alive and watching him. He was used to strange environments, having trained on countless alien worlds, but there was something different about this planet. The flora emitted soft, glowing light at night, and the winds carried faint melodic sounds. As he opened the door to enter, he froze. A figure stood in the center of the room. At first he thought it was a reflection or a trick of the light, but no, the figure was real. A woman, or something like a woman, was standing there, completely at ease, completely confident. Her eyes met his, and she smiled, a small, knowing curve of her lips that made it clear she belonged there. Without a word, she moved forward, as if the room had always been hers, and, to his shock, approached the bed and sat upon it. He swallowed hard. His training had prepared him for alien encounters, for hostile situations, for life or death decisions. But this was entirely different. The creature before him radiated confidence, an aura that seemed to demand respect. She did not speak his language, nor did she seem to understand his. Yet somehow he could sense her intentions. She was not there to harm him. She was testing him, assessing him. Instead of panicking, he took a deep breath. He had learned early in his training that fear could be fatal. Calmness, observation, and intelligence were often stronger than any weapon. He stepped forward carefully, hands visible, and spoke in a measured tone. "I'm Captain Aaron Reed. You're in my quarters." She tilted her head slightly, regarding him, her eyes bright with curiosity. She did not move from the bed. Her posture was relaxed, yet there was power in every movement, as though she owned not just the room, but the entire planet. Aaron realized this was not a confrontation. It was an invitation to understand, or perhaps a challenge to prove himself. He lowered himself to sit at the edge of the bed, careful not to invade her space. "I don't know who you are or why you're here," he said, "but I want to understand." For a moment, silence filled the room. Then she extended a hand, not threateningly, but in a gesture that seemed almost ceremonial. Her fingers brushed his, and he felt a spark of awareness, a connection that transcended language. It was subtle, but undeniable. She wanted to see how he reacted under pressure, and he was showing restraint, intelligence, and courage. That she seemed to appreciate. Aaron studied her carefully. Her skin shimmered slightly under the alien light, smooth and flawless. Her eyes were large, almond-shaped, and an unusual shade of violet, reflecting the colors of the planet's atmosphere. Her hair moved as if caught in an unseen wind, cascading down her shoulders. She was alien, yet there was a sense of familiarity in her presence, as though she represented something deeper, an intelligence that was both different and similar to humans. "What is your name?" Aaron asked cautiously. She tilted her head again but made no sound. Instead, she pointed to herself, then to him, and finally at the bed. It was a simple gesture, but he understood the message. This space, this bed, was hers for now. It was not an act of malice. She did not threaten him. She asserted presence. This planet had its own rules, and she lived by them. Aaron nodded slowly. "I see," he said. "You trust me enough to be here." "I won't betray that." She watched him for a long moment, as if weighing his words, his intentions. Then she leaned back, relaxed further, and closed her eyes for a moment. It was the first sign that she was not going to flee or attack. She was observing him, learning about him, perhaps as much as he was trying to learn about her. Days passed, and their interaction became a delicate balance of understanding. Aaron learned to communicate through gestures, shared tasks, and simple drawings. She responded in kind, revealing glimpses of her world, her intelligence, and her way of thinking. She was part of a species that valued courage, respect, and adaptability above all else. They did not understand fear or submission, but they recognized strength in composure and wisdom in observation. One morning, Aaron awoke to find her standing by the window, watching the swirling clouds outside. The planet's sky was a riot of colors: emerald green, deep purple, and streaks of shimmering silver. She gestured for him to join her, and together they observed the alien horizon. Aaron realized that this partnership, this silent understanding, was teaching him more about his own species than he had learned in years of training. Humans had strength, resourcefulness, and ingenuity. He was reminded that even in a universe filled with wonders and dangers, humanity could hold its own. Their interactions were never rushed. Every day brought new challenges: repairing damaged equipment together, navigating the alien terrain outside the station, and solving small problems that tested both their intelligence and patience. Aaron discovered that she responded best to calm, logical reasoning and courage in the face of the unknown. When he demonstrated those qualities, she showed a subtle respect, an acknowledgement of his capabilities. One evening, as the twin moons rose over the horizon, casting soft blue light into the room, she approached him again. This time she extended a small device, something unfamiliar, delicate, and clearly important. Aaron examined it carefully. Through trial and observation, he realized it was a type of communicator designed to translate emotions and intent rather than words. With this device, they could bridge the gap between their species more effectively. He smiled. "I think I understand," he said. "We can learn from each other." She responded with a smile of her own, a mixture of approval and anticipation. Aaron felt a surge of pride, not for conquering a challenge, but for demonstrating human adaptability and intelligence. She had tested him, and he had responded in a way that earned her trust. The days turned into weeks. Aaron continued to learn from her, while she began to mimic some of his habits, curious about human ways of thinking and problem-solving. They became an unusual team, relying on observation, intellect, and silent communication. Aaron realized that this bond, built on respect and mutual understanding, was rare. He had expected isolation on this planet, yet he found connection. He had expected solitude, yet he had found a partner who challenged and inspired him. One afternoon, a sudden alert sounded in the station. Sensors detected a disturbance outside, a creature moving through the terrain with unusual speed and intelligence. Aaron's training kicked in. He prepared defensive equipment while she stood beside him, calm and alert. Together, they faced the threat. Aaron relied on his ingenuity to set traps and analyze patterns, while she provided guidance, demonstrating her understanding of the creature's behavior. When the creature finally retreated, they stood side by side, victorious not through force alone, but through intelligence, observation, and trust. Aaron realized that this was the essence of their bond. Humans could face incredible odds, not just with weapons, but with their minds, courage, and capacity for understanding. She had recognized that from the start, and he had proven it in practice. That night, as the alien world's sky shimmered with luminescent clouds and glowing stars, they sat together quietly. Aaron felt a deep respect for her, and she, in turn, seemed to acknowledge his strength and wisdom. No words were necessary. Their understanding was built on actions, trust, and a mutual recognition of capability. Aaron realized something important. This encounter, which had begun with shock and uncertainty, had become a lesson in what it meant to be human. Humans were resourceful, adaptable, and brave. They could face the unknown with intelligence and composure, and sometimes they could earn the trust of beings far more advanced simply by demonstrating their qualities through action. As he lay down that night, he reflected on the events. The alien woman had walked into his room with confidence, claiming the space as hers. But in doing so, she had offered him something even greater, the chance to prove humanity's strength, not through dominance or fear, but through courage, intelligence, and respect. He drifted to sleep with a sense of purpose, knowing that the days ahead would bring further challenges and further opportunities to demonstrate the best of what it meant to be human. The next morning, the alien woman was already at the window when Aaron woke. Her eyes followed the strange, twisting clouds and the glowing forests that stretched beyond the station. The twin moons cast their pale light across the alien landscape, illuminating patterns in the trees that shifted with the wind. Aaron rubbed his eyes, still adjusting to the long nights on this world, and joined her at the window. Without speaking, she gestured toward the forests, then to the horizon, and finally back at him. It was clear she wanted him to come with her outside. Aaron understood that her kind communicated through actions, gestures, and observation rather than words. He nodded slowly, checking the equipment he would need, and followed her out of the station. The air outside was thick with unfamiliar scents, a mixture of minerals, plants, and something indefinably alive. Every step they took on the soft, luminous ground revealed strange patterns, some natural, others clearly crafted by intelligent life. Aaron marveled at the alien world. Humanity had discovered many planets, but this one was unique. Every detail seemed designed to test intelligence and awareness, and he understood that she was guiding him deliberately through it. She led him to a small clearing where a device rested on a pedestal, glowing softly. It was unlike anything Aaron had ever seen. Its surface pulsed with light, and intricate symbols covered its exterior. She motioned for him to examine it, and he knelt down, carefully touching the device. It responded to his touch, emitting a soft hum and a projection of holographic shapes that floated in the air. Aaron's mind raced. He had studied alien technology before, but this was far more advanced than anything he had encountered. Using his experience, he began experimenting carefully, pressing patterns, rotating sections, and adjusting the angles of the floating projections. The alien woman watched silently, her expression calm, yet intense. Aaron realized that she was testing his problem-solving skills, his patience, and his creativity. After several hours, he discovered the device's purpose. It was a translator, but not in the conventional sense. It converted emotions, intentions, and subtle gestures into understandable signals. He activated it, and the first words formed in a language he could comprehend. She looked at him, and through the device he heard her voice, soft and melodic, saying, "You understand." Aaron smiled. "Yes, I can understand." It was not just a tool for communication. It was a bridge between two species. He realized that human ingenuity, combined with calm observation and courage, could unlock doors no one else could. Over the next days, their interaction grew more profound. They began exploring the surrounding area together, each discovery revealing something new about the planet and her species. She led him to structures hidden in the forest, ancient and alien, built with precision that human eyes could barely comprehend. Some structures were clearly functional, designed for energy collection, observation, or transportation. Others were symbolic, containing knowledge and history of her people. Aaron marveled at their design, but he did not rely solely on admiration. He began experimenting with the structures, carefully observing how they worked, and using his skills to interface with them. The alien woman watched closely, occasionally offering a guiding gesture or a hint of approval. Aaron realized that she respected his intelligence, his ability to learn and adapt in a world that was entirely foreign to him. One day, while exploring a cave-like structure beneath a hill, they encountered a danger neither had anticipated. A large creature, its body covered in thick, reflective scales, emerged from the shadows. It was intelligent, observing them with calculated movements. Aaron froze for a moment, analyzing its behavior. The alien woman stood beside him, calm and poised. She did not fear the creature, and her confidence strengthened him. He quickly realized that brute force would not defeat it. Instead, he used the terrain, creating barriers and distractions, guiding the creature away from the cave's entrance. The alien woman moved with him seamlessly, anticipating his actions, and together they managed to outsmart the predator. When it finally retreated into the shadows, Aaron felt a surge of pride. They had survived through intelligence, courage, and teamwork, human qualities proving their worth in an alien world. That evening, they returned to the station, exhausted but unafraid. Aaron reflected on the day's events. Humanity had a reputation for courage and adaptability, but this encounter proved it once more. Humans could face the unknown not just with tools and weapons, but with quick thinking, observation, and moral resolve. The alien woman's presence was a constant reminder that respect and trust were earned through actions, not intimidation. Over time, the bond between them deepened. Communication became easier with the translator device. They shared knowledge, Aaron explaining aspects of human life, science, and ingenuity, while she revealed the principles behind her technology and the philosophy of her species. Aaron discovered that her people valued balance, intelligence, and courage above all else. They did not dominate through force. They thrived through understanding, cooperation, and adaptability. One morning, Aaron awoke to find her examining a map he had drawn, detailing the station and the surrounding environment. She traced patterns with her fingers, nodding as if approving his methods. He realized that humans and her species, despite their differences, shared common values: curiosity, problem-solving, and resilience. The recognition filled him with pride. Humanity had strengths that no one could deny, strengths that could bridge worlds. As the days turned into weeks, they faced further challenges together. Harsh storms swept across the landscape, strange magnetic fluctuations disrupted their equipment, and the forests occasionally revealed creatures that were both beautiful and dangerous. Each time, Aaron relied on human ingenuity and courage to find solutions, while she offered guidance, testing him and providing subtle encouragement. Their partnership became a demonstration of what humans could achieve: adaptability, intelligence, and moral courage, even in the most alien circumstances. One evening, under the shimmering light of the twin moons, they discovered a massive energy field at the heart of the planet. It pulsed with power, interacting with the station's technology in ways Aaron could barely comprehend. The alien woman gestured for him to approach, guiding him through a series of adjustments and observations. Using his knowledge of engineering and problem-solving, Aaron carefully manipulated the field, stabilizing it and unlocking its potential for energy and communication. She observed silently, then extended her hand toward him. Through the translator, he understood the meaning: recognition. He had proven the value of human intelligence, courage, and adaptability. She trusted him completely now, and their partnership had become a symbol of what humans could offer to the universe. Days later, a new challenge arrived. An unexpected alien scout approached the station, curious and cautious. Aaron and the woman worked together to communicate and demonstrate humanity's strengths. He used gestures, technology, and careful observation to earn their respect. By the end of the encounter, the alien scouts acknowledged the humans as intelligent, capable, and worthy of cooperation. Aaron realized something profound. Humanity's value was not only in strength or technology, but in the combination of intelligence, courage, and moral clarity. They could face unknown worlds, interact with alien species, and earn trust through actions and integrity. The alien woman had arrived unexpectedly, claiming his space with confidence, but in doing so, she had created an opportunity, a chance for humanity to shine in a world that tested every skill and every quality a human possessed. In the quiet moments, as they sat together observing the alien skies, Aaron reflected on what he had learned. He had expected solitude, but he found a companion who challenged and inspired him. He had expected a simple mission, but he discovered a world full of intelligence, danger, and wonder. And he realized that humans, through courage, cleverness, and respect, could achieve what few others could. The alien woman turned to him, her eyes glowing softly in the moonlight. Through the translator, her voice resonated gently. "You are strong. You are clever. You are human." Aaron smiled. "And humans will continue to learn, adapt, and prove themselves," he replied. She nodded once, approvingly, and together they looked out at the alien horizon. The planet was vast, mysterious, and alive with possibilities. And in that moment, Aaron understood something fundamental about humanity. No matter how strange the world, how intelligent the species, or how complex the challenge, humans could face it all with courage, ingenuity, and moral strength. The days that followed brought further exploration, discoveries, and challenges, but Aaron faced each one with confidence. The alien woman remained by his side, their partnership a symbol of respect and understanding across species. And in every action, decision, and moment of bravery, humanity's light shone brightly, proving that even on the most alien worlds, humans could inspire trust, earn respect, and demonstrate their unique strength. By the time the mission neared its conclusion, Aaron had gained not just a partner, but an ally who would carry knowledge of humanity into her world. And as he prepared to return to the station's main base for reports, he knew this encounter would be remembered, not for fear, not for conquest, but for what humans had always excelled at: courage, intelligence, and the ability to adapt, learn, and overcome. The alien woman stood at the edge of the clearing as he boarded the shuttle. She gave a final nod, a silent gesture of acknowledgement. Aaron smiled, understanding fully the message. Humanity had proven itself here, in this strange world, not through dominance, but through the qualities that made humans remarkable. And somewhere, on this distant planet, the alien species would remember the humans who faced the unknown with wisdom, courage, and heart. Aaron settled into his seat, watching the glowing landscape recede beneath him. The alien woman's figure remained visible for a moment, standing confidently as if claiming her world and recognizing his strength. And as the shuttle lifted off, he felt a quiet pride, knowing that humanity's legacy had reached further than ever before. No words were needed. Actions had spoken: courage, intelligence, adaptability, and respect. These were the marks of humanity. And on this alien planet, under strange moons and swirling skies, those marks had shone brightly.